any day now.
Later that same day. Oh, there we go. Yay.
Yeah, are we doing it?
Hit it.
Okay, I'm waiting.
I don't
Is
hear
it-
the music.
No, it's because it says a premium, a premium. Oh, we've got a problem right out of the
What?
chute. A
Oh,
premium account on X, Twitter, is required to create live broadcast on the platform.
when did that
Make
happen?
I don't know,
Is
but
that
you know what?
brand new? So
That
we're
must be.
not
Yeah,
on
well,
Twitter anymore?
I just
Or
said remove. So
yeah,
oh
remove them.
man, that stinks. You know what, Elon? Okay, here
That
we
just
go.
happened between last week and this week. Yay! Welcome into the John's Been Drinking podcast.
What? Come on.
Ron Ross Radio Show podcast. Here we go. At 8 o'clock Eastern. It is 5 Pacific on this here Wednesday. Thank you so much for chilling with us. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please mash that subscribe button and follow us and do all the things as you listen on either or watch us on Facebook video live or also on our YouTube channel, and apparently not on X.
And not on X. Apparently, Elon has gotten greedy. Between
Are you surprised?
Well, generally, I'm kind of an Elon fan.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to question that.
Well, I can see why.
He's an entrepreneur. But
yeah, we can't broadcast on Twitter anymore. I'm a little bummed about that.
Well, I am too.
Or on X or whatever.
Yeah, because I think
how much is it for a premium? Do I want to give him any of my money?
I don't know. Let me look. Let me Google that for you, Ron. Premium. Go ahead. Continue.
I don't know. I got nothing. I'm a little bummed about it. I'm a little thrown by that. We were on for 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, and I think
maybe even a month.
It looked good too,
and everything was great. Got a lot of great response from it. But all right, you know what? We'll work that out later. So it has been unbelievably hot in our area. It was 100 degrees at FDK. That's the Frederick Municipal Airport. That's the three-letter abbreviation is FDK. It was 100 degrees with a heat index of 110. So it's been
what was the heat dome, Ron?
So consequently, I don't know, but I don't know what I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
So consequently, again, the weeds are growing rampant in my front yard because it's too hot to go outside, and I keep the greatest wife every day. We're like, we should go out early before get there. We get up early, relatively early. When we go outside, pull some weeds, get the crabgrass, and get all that done. No, we're on our phones, drinking coffee out on the deck, and feeding salted peanuts to the squirrels. And blue jays apparently are very big fans of the salted peanuts.
Really?
You can hear the squirrels like, it's salted.
Salty.
No, they're a lot of fun. Although we have this giant pine tree in our backyard. It's been there since we moved in here, and it's just grown taller and taller and taller and more wonderful. And there have been branches that are blown off that are still stuck in the tree, but it is branched off. Get it? The trunk has split in two. All right, so you have two main bodies of the tree, and the right side is completely dead now. Completely dead, all brown needles, and now we've got to figure out how we're going to take this tree down because nobody I know is going to be able to get up there, so we're going to have to hire an arborist. Luckily, we know one, and you do too.
Yes,
you do too. Jason.
Jason,
our Canadian friend, or he's American now, playing in his band Crash the Limo, but that's not his full-time job. Full-time job, he's an arborist. So I'm gonna get him. I'm not gonna have him climb the tree, and that would just be so rude. No, I want him to come over and take a look at it and then recommend somebody. And then we're just gonna have to bite the bullet and hire somebody to take the tree down, or else it could fall into our neighbor's house. It could fall into our house. And where that tree is sitting is we're in a valley, and the wind consequently generally blows from west to east, blows in an easterly direction. So when storms come blowing through, now we're lucky in the valley that a lot of storms hit South Mountain, they bounce up and they kind of go over us most of the time. But you do have some winds that come down and dip down and they've knocked over 2 of our pine trees in the backyard already. But if it gets this big one, we're in deep. Those were spruces. We're in deep trouble.
In doodle.
So
Deep
yeah, we're gonna have
doodle.
to take it down because it's dead. So it's not going to take much. If we have some strong winds coming through with a severe thunderstorm or something, it's going to come down. So,
Oh, by the way,
yeah,
$8 a month is what it's
a month.
Yep.
For Twitter.
Yeah.
For me to what?
Yep.
Wow. For premium.
I mean, that's what it looks like. So the basic tier of X
Tier, all right. TEAR tier.
basic tier is like $3 a month, $32 annual. And then the premium tier, which appears to be what you need to have in order to do video streaming, $8 a month, 84 annual. So what does that work out to? 84 divided by 12. I don't know.
84 annual.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out. It sounds like that is what you would call a discount, because
right. Well, that's what I was saying. So 84 divided by 12, $7 a month.
I don't know why are you making me do math?
I don't know, right?
You've got a calculator.
I pulled out the calculator.
You're the one who's been drinking.
You save what? What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nothing but pure life right here.
Right now.
Okay,
it's all right. I got you. I'm working on it, dude. I got my Jameson. So
$7 a month.
Look at that. Dean the bartender rocks.
This is, by the way, this is the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast After Dark.
After dark.
Yeah.
At night. If you ever watch SpongeBob.
Right. So $7 a month in order to reach more people. Actually, we had a pretty good response. See, I think that's the way they get you, Ron.
Oh, it's like a drug dealer to give you the first one for free.
Right. So for about 3
Now
months,
I'm hooked. Now I'm hooked.
Yeah, now you're hooked.
I've got to have X. I've got to have X.
I need to have X. We had much more engagement.
Great.
Thanks, Elon.
Thanks, Elon.
I appreciate that.
Well, you know what we should do? We need to get a sponsor. That's what we need to do.
Sponsor pay.
How much you want? I want $84.
$84. Okay. Would anyone like to sponsor the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast for $100 a year? And we'll use the extra, $12 or $16 for sandwiches.
And I'll do a commercial. And I'll do a commercial. I'll do a live read. I'm really good at live read.
Or Ron will announce your Christmas light show.
Sure,
ladies and gentlemen,
absolutely.
Please dim your lights.
Or you know what? I'll do your kids' little league game. I love doing that stuff.
Right
now, batting for the Cardinals, the center fielder, 8-year-old Johnny Yaglensky. Yaglensky.
Yeah.
Then you gotta play a really cool song when they come dancing. You've seen the videos of the little kids dancing to the music as they approach the home plate. It's so good.
Oh my God.
Even the catcher's moving around. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
All right. Since it is hot, and I haven't turned my fan on upstairs, I'm sorry, in here, because you'll just hear it just whooshes down into the microphone. You just hear this. So I am being uncomfortable for you.
There you go. Well, that's good. Thank you.
Podcast.
Thank you for doing that, Rob.
But I do want to question, though. I did want to throw it out there and put it on the on the Facebook if you would like to
answer it,
participate.
If you're listening.
And that is, what do you keep your thermostat on in your house?
That's a good question.
What do you? Because it's everywhere. I asked this on the air at Q103, and I got one woman was like, "I'm really sorry, but I keep it on."
Oh, that was what you were asking me earlier today.
Yeah.
On the
keeping it on at 70.
We were trying to figure out what we had talked about the day before, and that we thought was going to be a great question to ask. And we had some real philosophical thoughts about this.
About the about
the temperature.
Yeah. I'm always we're at 72 year round.
Okay.
I set it at 72 year round. We have a heat pump. And I've told you, I've lamented about this before, is with my unbelievable electric bill, because I decided
Yeah.
going into and I'll just reiterate the story very quickly, that I wanted to be comfortable in my own house. In my house, I'm in a 3-story townhouse.
Right.
It's always 5 to 7 degrees colder downstairs in the basement, and it's always 5 to 7 to 10 degrees warmer upstairs in the summer,
I
and
get it.
reverse that in the winter.
Okay.
And so I decided I would like to feel nice and comfortable. So I jacked the the emergency heat. I told you about this, right?
Oh Lord.
Remember?
Yeah, I do
Jacked it
remember this story.
up to 74. I was nice and comfortable in my own house, and
Right.
then I got $100 electric bill. And
I
I was like, well, that's it. I guess I just need to invest in sweaters and sweatshirts and blankets and
I recall as a kid in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. So we had our first heat pump, our first
Mhm.
home, I guess. Well, I wouldn't say. Yeah, I guess it was our first home because we had an apartment before that in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. This is with my parents, by the way. I'm talking about our
Right.
first home. I'm not talking about me and my wife. Um, we moved into Lansdale and we had a heat pump, and it was forever cold. It just, I mean, in Pennsylvania, heat pumps really don't make a lot of sense, or they didn't back in the day. They were in the early days of development. They
Mhm.
didn't understand things. They didn't work quite as well as they weren't efficient. So it was cold all the time.
Pennsylvania.
So me as a teenager thought, it's too cold in here. I need to turn this up. What is wait a minute. What does that red light mean when I turn? I don't care. At least it'll be warm. Yeah, Papa Yaglinski came by the next month, and there was a sit down with the children, and
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were told never to touch the thermostat again.
That's the thermostat.
Yeah,
Yeah. When the daughter, the younger,
it's
was
not good.
home,
It's not good.
I noticed if I was nice and warm in my own house, that means she had messed with it and she had cranked it up to like 75 or something, 76. I'm
Yes.
like, no, don't. I did get a little Jim just posted on our Facebook 77 days, 78 at night.
Mhm.
That's warm, isn't it? Where do you
Well,
live, Jim? We either have a very efficient AC or the thermometer or
thermometer,
the
the
thermometer. Why isn't it pronounced thermometer? It's a meter. It's not a meter.
thermometer.
The thermometer is off or both. A couple of ceiling fans going lower to
I
76 if company over. Oh,
okay,
good.
Jim.
If
So
company's over, you make sure they're comfy and they're comfortable. That's good.
Jim brought up an interesting point, because I wonder about that sometimes,
What's that?
because Ron and I were discussing this in the studio at Key 103 the
Well,
other
I'm getting
day.
to that. That's on there, by the way.
Oh yeah, well,
Okay.
anyway, we were talking about this stuff. So I said in our home in South Carolina, 76 is our normal daytime temperature. Sometimes we'll, like, if it feels a little bit warm, we'll bump it to 75, and 75 sometimes actually feels cold. Like cold enough to, like, whoo, I'm a little bit cold.
That's because
And
your blood's
but
thin. Yeah.
no, 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 wait. So I'm here in Washington D.C.,
Yeah.
and if I could take a picture of the thermometer
Yeah.
on the wall right
Yeah.
now,
Yes.
it is set to 70.
So
And
wow.
I'm plenty comfortable right now.
Okay.
So what is
Interesting.
it? Is it nature, nurture? Is
Nature
it
versus nurture. I was gonna say I don't know. That's a good question.
Is it
Well,
environment?
it's
Is it
also
what is it?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's also relative, and you've seen the meme,
Mhm.
me when
Is it
it's
someone else's energy?
at fall. No, when it's in the fall,
Yeah,
in September and it's 60 degrees, it's like, oh man, I need a chunky sweater. Here comes the winter,
yeah,
and you put a jacket on or a
right.
coat. But in April, if it's 60, you're like in a tank top, like, oh, this is gorgeous spring weather. I think it's relative. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. So
I
it's relative to where you are,
I
I think.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
think certain things come into play, like just literally, whether it be the daily humidity or the daily environment, or, like in South Carolina, it's super humid like the whole summer long. Like
Sure.
you just do not get a break.
Well, you're
Like
on the water, John.
right. Yeah, I know. But, well, I'm just saying, like in DC today, it was 90 something. And I was outside and I was like, yeah, it's hot, but I don't feel like I'm also dripping
Right.
off my arms or my face or whatever like I would when I'm in South Carolina. So my wonder is whether that difference has something to do with how you perceive temperature in
Now,
the house.
well, let me tell you a little bit about myself.
It's the feels like,
Let,
Ron.
let me. It feels like temperature. It's the
Ugh,
real feel. Let me tell you a
uh,
little bit about myself. A
okay, good.
younger me
Yep.
would
Yep.
have loved to discuss this and pontificated for another hour and a half.
A younger you?
Me now knows I don't know enough about it,
Okay.
and I'm just going to sound stupid. I'll be like a blind squirrel. I might get a nut. I might stumble onto a fact, but for
Hmm.
the most part, I don't know what I'm talking
But you don't
about.
wonder about this stuff? Like I've
No,
wondered about
I
that.
do, but I don't have any plausible explanation.
Because like you, I
You know what I
think
mean?
I think it's what Jim.
I think the whole
By
it's
by the way,
relative.
Jim bringing the comedy tonight. Also depends on how close you are to the vent output of the AC. Yep. Yeah. I mean,
That is a fair point.
there's
That's a
there's
fair point.
there is some legitimacy to that.
Well,
So
when I'm in a hotel room and I'm not paying for the AC, man, you can hang meat in the room.
that's what
I
I'm saying.
I crank I crank that thing down.
You're like Rocky, ready to,
I crank it
to
down.
punch the.
Crank it down. I wanna see my breath. It's
Um, no, I agree, but you know, like when you look at it initially, and your reaction to it was like 76 degrees. Yeah, it sounds like
76 degrees in John's house.
like it. It sounds like it's hot, but legitimately, there are times where we're like, it's cold at 75, and my wife will like the blanket on the back of the couch and like the lawn, like oh.
All I'm saying, John, is when the greatest wife ever and I come to visit,
Hmm.
72.
I I will.
72.
You know what?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
This will
I'm
be the
kidding, John.
best. No, this will be the best experiment
It
ever.
will be a great experiment,
Seriously.
but I
And
guarantee
and
you,
maybe we'll do a podcast while Ron is actually at my house.
I will be disrobing, and I will
No,
be
don't do
in a
that.
red, white, and blue
No, don't. I don't.
speedo.
No,
Absolutely. If it's a
no,
little warm,
no,
I'm just saying.
don't do that.
I'm
That
just
would be
saying.
that'd be
I'm like the
disturbing.
comedian Bert
No,
Kreischer.
but I
Shirt
but
comes off.
I'll be curious if you actually come into my house and go, yeah, it's a little warm in here. And which
Oh
I
no, I
would
won't.
welcome you
I
doing, by the way.
absolutely will not say that. I
No, you
will
absolutely
lie,
should
lie,
say that.
lie. You'll
No,
no.
no,
Now I am
no,
I'm an over sweater, so
no,
you will definitely see that. You will
no.
see
Well, look,
as it
we've
should
got
be, and I'm not nervous. I'm just hot.
so the other thing is, okay, in the South,
Yeah.
we have ceiling fans in every room.
Well, yeah, you have to for the bugs.
Despite Vern Yip
Oh,
complaining about it.
oh my God, there's a name.
Right?
Trading Spaces.
Right.
Oh my God, I
Do you
loved
remember
that show.
the first thing that he did when he
I
came in? Oh, ceiling fan.
loved that
That's gotta
show.
come down. I'm like, I did too. I love Vern.
Oh,
But he was wrong on the ceiling fans. In the South, you have to have them. So
who was the
every room
designer? Yeah.
has a ceiling fan,
Okay,
pretty much.
I got you.
And you can
I'm
crank that
feeling
up
you.
as much as you want.
And in the winter you're supposed to reverse it, so it
We
sucks to
do.
be. Do you?
Yep. There's a
Just
switch.
like
You
it?
go
No.
and it goes up. You want it to go up in the winter and directly down in the summer.
I
Yep.
thought it was the other way around.
Nope.
You pull the cool air up from the bottom. Heat rises.
No, you're pushing the heat that has risen to the top, which
Yeah.
means you want to press it against the ceiling, which then it goes out
See, again,
around.
I don't know what I'm talking
This
about.
is
That's
what
why
I mean. At least someone correct me. I don't know.
okay. All right.
I mean, we're a
By the way,
little light on the viewers tonight, anyway. So
what do we have? Two?
yeah,
Two?
two. Susan says 72 during the day, lower at night, 68 to 70. and ceiling fans, and she keeps a blanket on her all the time.
Nice. I
I
we had blankets. It was a little chilly. We had the AC crank, but we had blankets while we're watching TV. And I'm like, look at the greatest way ever. We're like, this is wrong.
so I
We
d
should probably
all
not
right,
have the AC that
I
high.
have something else that my wife hates, and it's called a bed jet.
Oh no.
No, I do.
What
I have it.
I don't
And
want
so
to know. I
there's
don't
a
want to know, John. What is it?
well, it's got his and hers side, and
Yeah.
and you use a special sheet, and what
Mm.
it does is like this sort of vent goes in between the sheets, and it actually blows air through that,
Uh-huh.
so it makes the effective temperature of the bed much cooler.
Okay.
So it
And she hates that?
yeah, she don't like it.
Didn't like it.
No, so
So are
I
you
I
still
bought it for both of our sides, but I have it so you have it on each side, and
right?
I have it on my side, so I turn it
Yeah.
on my side, and
Yeah.
I like to get a little chilly when I sleep,
Okay.
and that's how I
You're
do it.
supposed to sleep chilly. You're
I know,
supposed to.
I know.
I know you know. Okay.
So I have a bed jet. Look it up. It's great.
So you saw this earlier, and I posted it on the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast
Oh, you
Facebook
did?
page.
Oh,
I got jury duty. Dun dun dun. Now,
wow.
here's the thing with jury duty. My jury duty is it's a federal case. It's district court.
Oh, wow.
Federal case, which means I have to go to Baltimore.
Balmer.
And I was reading the whole thing, the jury summons, and you can fill all this. It's very convenient. You fill it out all online. And everybody and their mother is trying to tell me how you can get out of it. Oh, you need to try this excuse and say this. I can tell somebody's guilty just by looking at him and all these smart out remarks. And so on. I hate people. And,
Weasels.
yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to get out of it. I'm ready to fulfill my civic duty. And I was
Right. Yeah.
and you get a stipend per day. And
Not
also,
much.
it's all right. You know, whatever.
Oh, it's horrible. My
Good.
son had to serve jury duty.
Did he do federal or state?
No.
Or
Well, yeah,
county?
maybe federal pays better. I think it was
Well, all I know is that
county or state. It was one or the other.
now they do the pool from across the state of Maryland.
Okay.
All right. So, and I live in Frederick County, which is 2 counties away from Baltimore. Now it's an hour drive, and come on, man. I spent my entire life commuting an hour away, even in high school. So, I mean, I can do that in my sleep, and I have done it in my sleep.
Right.
But they're like, well, if you want to get a hotel room, we'll pay you, X amount of dollars for a hotel room. And I'm like,
Hotel room. That sounds kind of nice.
I could do a hotel room. And I don't think it's one of those, pay up front and then you get reimbursed. And I don't have that kind of cash. So it looks like I'll be driving. But they also compensate you for mileage. So I mean, they're doing all the right things to make sure you participate, or
right
to make it easy for you to participate and do your civic duty. So I'm actually, believe it or not, kind of excited about it. But I'm almost guaranteeing you, I'm going to be excused.
You will be excluded.
I'll be excused because I was called up for a Frederick County trial, and I was at the courthouse in downtown Frederick. And it was a case in one of the nearby towns outside of Frederick. And I knew the case because I remember reading about it in the paper. I know. Dun, dun,
You're
dun.
informed.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
And then they said, also, because I'm in the media at the time, they're like,
yeah, that might be a problem too.
You're gone. You're gone. Ooh, so, I mean, I sat there in the jury room and read a book because you couldn't have your phone.
Right.
And then I went into the actual courtroom, and after they picked the jury, the trial was going to start immediately. It was like, if they pick the jury, that's it. They're off to the races. So, and I sat down in the gallery, and then they called my number, and after about, I don't know, half hour or whatever, and I sat down, and my butt wasn't in the seat where they just went, yeah. I saw the prosecutor talk to the defense, and they just said, yeah, juror number 13 or whatever I was, you're excused. And I got up and left, and that was it. I was done. So I don't know, and who knows? My poll number, my jury number, juror number, the rural juror, might not be. Did you ever watch that?
No,
No, 30 Rock.
no,
Okay. Anyway, it
no.
was reference to 30 Rock. They she had a hard time saying the rural juror. So I don't know if my number is going to be called. I have to call after 6 o'clock every evening to see if I have to report.
Show up
And
the next day. Yeah.
and everybody is on call at work. I even said to my boss, I said, "Hey, I can pre-record the show if you need be." And they're like, "No, we're not penalizing anybody for doing their civic duty. You have the time off. It's a paid time off for you to go and do that."
Hmm.
So I'm like, great. And they're going
Good
to
for them.
cover. Yeah. So I'm ready. It's not till August, mid-August. So we'll see what
Okay.
happens.
All right.
Um, but I do have some trepidation as to what kind of case it's going to be. Because if it's some sort of violent act, I don't know. I mean, I'll do it. I'll have to do it, but that's gonna be very difficult. I'm not. Um, I'm hoping it might be a civil case.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that. But we'll see. We will see. It's going to be very interesting. I've been called once, and my brother got called up for jury duty as well, and this time, but he's for a local county
Really?
case. Yeah, I know. It's
Okay.
like, what's happening? And as soon as I posted that, it's all the people in my. I posted it on my Facebook page too, and underneath in the comments section, yeah, I got called up this week as well. Yeah, I got. I'm like, what's going on?
I
It's
hope
all the
this isn't
summons
a
went out at
trend.
the same time. Mhm.
I hope this isn't a trend. I mean, I've been called once.
Yeah,
But
where here or there in South Carolina?
um, yeah, it was in South Carolina because I had to go to Beaufort, South Carolina, which is 50 minutes from where I live.
Oh goodness! All right, and you never got called up.
No, I mean, I showed up for that day,
Did you
and
even
that
get to
was
sit in the jury box?
nope,
Uh,
nope. I'm not sure I even went inside the building. I think it was one of those things where you had to show up and just kind of wait. And I sat out in my car. Like I might have walked in just sort of to see what the building looked like,
yeah.
and that was about it. And they were like, "Nope, you're dismissed."
It was daunting to sit in the jury box, and I was in the front row on the end.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna have to be looking at whoever this is on trial and go, oh, this is gonna be tough. And
Yeah,
I'm judging you. I have to decide with 11 other people whether you did this or not. Right
yeah,
now, you're not guilty in my eyes.
yeah,
That's hard to do. That's hard to do if you want to try to be fair and impartial.
yeah, yeah. I feel like I could be
I feel like I could be too, and I feel like I would be a pain in everybody's butt
right,
in the jury room going, well, I don't know. Take a look at it from this way, from this
right.
side.
I'd be that guy too. I would be like,
Uh,
"Well,
people do not.
one more thing."
Yeah, they don't want to be on a jury with me.
Be like Columbo. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
right.
one,
Just
and
one
one,
more thing
just one more thing
before we leave. All right,
before we
let's take
leave.
another vote.
Yeah,
Oh man.
it's been a while, but
All right, so
okay.
John
Yes.
was
Hi.
is as you know is in DC, but he actually rented a car and he
Okay.
came up. I'm about an hour north in Frederick County, and he came up north, and I haven't physically seen John in how long you been in South Carolina?
Um, um, 7,
Years?
8 years, something like
7, 8
that.
years.
Yeah, something like that.
Haven't physically been in the same room with John for like 8 years.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was awesome. It
it
was
was
great to see you.
crazy.
So John came by my work and he got to hang out a little bit and he helped me write the question of the day and told me that it was the key question of the day that we do on
Right.
E103. And he told me it was too easy. And I'm like, dude, I gotta make it accessible. I could
Yeah,
write obscure
I
stuff
did.
all
I
day
told.
long.
I was like,
It's
this.
zero fun.
I was like, "Come on, Ron. Really?
No,
Really? You're doing that?" By
no,
the
you
way,
got
thank you to the gracious people at Key 103 for accepting me into their humble abode.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
very
fun.
happy.
That was
I was
awesome.
very honored to be able to visit you, Ron.
That was
Thank you.
great. That was a lot
Yes.
of fun. What was it
Yes.
like to be back in a radio studio?
It was really cool, and, if I'm being 100% honest, it made me miss it a little bit.
I figured as
I
much.
know. I mean,
I
I
figured as
you
much.
get
It
look,
happens.
no, it's in my blood. It
When
just
I'm on
is.
vacation, I miss it.
I know. It was just my job right now is really cool. I get to do lots of cool stuff. I get to travel. I get to meet exciting new people. I get to do things I never imagined doing. But that being said, when I went to school, I went to school to be a radio guy.
Yeah,
And not
so
only
did
that,
I.
I worked all the way through school
Mhm.
doing, professional broadcasting. I came out of school, that was what I knew, that was what I did. So I miss it. Yeah, I mean there are moments I miss it. And then there are moments I'm like, well, I have a pretty good life, so I'm not going to complain.
Right, and you can
You
always
know,
go back to it part-time,
I could.
you
Yeah,
know?
I know. I keep thinking of throwing in a tape to like
Yeah.
one of the local stations,
That's
but
all
but
it is,
I'm
by the way, it's a tape.
I
It's an
well, you know what I mean. An air check.
an air
Uh,
check.
yeah, but I'm just too busy. Like it wouldn't make sense right now. But
I
maybe
know,
in
they'd be
5
like,
or 10
"Alright,
years.
John, you're on, 10 to 2 on Saturday." "No, I can't."
No, no, I'd kind of like
"You're
to be out on the beach.
you're
Thanks.
part-time, it's the whole point is for you to
Right.
be here."
Yeah, yeah. See,
"Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it."
that would be the problem.
Well, now you have by the way, this is a little inside baseball. Now,
Right.
in this day and age, you have guys and men and women who have this, and they're like, "Yeah, I'd love to do 10 to 2 from my home." And they're like, "No, can you come into the radio station?" "Yeah, no. All right, never mind."
No, thanks.
And,
I'm good. I'm
"I'm
good.
good.
Right.
Trying to give oh, no, I'll just do it from here." That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, why do I have a multi-million-dollar studio?
Yeah, I don't yeah, I mean, you and I both.
Nobody wants to come into anymore. Yeah, it's hard.
Essentially, I mean, so that was the one thing that I did notice. I mean, other than a few things here and there, essentially, my home setup is pretty killer.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love your home setup.
I mean, all the way through the mic, the headphones, the actual board that I have, the computer that I run things on. Like
This is a
so,
show just for John and me, by the way. Go ahead.
yeah, it's okay. No one's listening anyway.
That's fair. That's fair.
Sometimes we just do the
That's
show for us.
that's fair.
It's we just do this so that we talk to each other.
Right,
Really, that's
right.
ultimate. But
You're
but
you're
we're
you're
glad to
basically
have
you're
you
listening to
along.
you're listening to a video phone call is
Yeah.
what you're
So, remember, like in the old days when you had a party line?
I never had a party line.
Oh, okay.
I've
Well,
heard of it, but I've never
yeah,
had a party line.
where you get on and just like tons of people would be on. Okay.
I
Anyway,
was,
let me
I
let me okay. Let me dumb that down. Remember when you used to dial into BBSs and there'd be like a chat room and everybody would just be chatting, or on AOL and there was a chat room, or do you
oh,
remember those?
yeah, I remember the chat rooms, yes.
Okay, well,
Okay,
same thing. Okay, so
okay, got it, yeah.
you've come into the Ron and John chat room. So this is what we do.
Where they
We
just talk about old radio guy stuff.
stuff. Yeah, it's you
No,
get it.
it's
Y'all
yeah,
get it. You're
I
all old like us, right?
hee.
I mean,
Although it's really fun though, because you were there yesterday, and then
yeah.
today our intern Olivia came in. Olivia's 20.
Okay,
She goes to Penn State.
cool.
She is
Which Penn State, by the way? The one in Harrisburg,
no
or State
no
College?
State College,
Okay, cool.
and she's going into her senior year, and and this is it. So
Mhm,
she's actually getting credit.
mhm.
But it's great to see somebody who wants to do this.
Wow.
And eventually I said, "So what do you want to do?" Eventually, and she said, "I want to be on the Today Show." I said, "Okay, let's get you there."
Right.
So
Well, I
yeah,
love, first of all, by the way, that you just said, "Let's get you there. We'll figure out a way."
yeah,
Like, yeah. No, I love the enthusiasm there.
yeah, absolutely. She's ready to go. She's got talent dripping off of her.
Oh,
She's a
awesome.
natural. She's a natural in the air. So it's a lot of fun to see somebody like that who's got that drive. That's what
Yeah.
she's studying in school.
Yep.
She's doing the work. I give her assignments. She does the assignments and gets them done on time and does a great job at it. I mean,
Right.
I threw her to the wolves a little bit today because I stuck her on the board and I was going to walk away with the control board on a live show, and I was going to walk away, but I could
No.
tell that she was getting really nervous. And
Anxious. Yeah.
so I said, do you want me to stay back here? And she goes, yes. I said, okay, I will stay back in the corner while you do all the things that because she had to run a break that was pre-recorded and a phone call and all that stuff. And she had to start and stop a song and play background music and then start this and time out so that the call ended, started the next song. So she would post the vocals. That's a radio term. So, she was juggling like 7 balls and she
I
did
will
fine.
say,
I didn't have to do anything. I
I
didn't
will
have to do anything.
I will say, so compared to the last time I was in an actual radio studio, which I think was at Z104, Washington D.C. was the last time I was on the air.
Oh, wow. Okay. Back in the
Yep.
day.
Yeah,
So that
back
was
in the day.
still CDs.
Well, we talked about this. Like, I think that Z104 had already converted over to some sort of automated system like you had yesterday.
Mm.
Um, and you or your program director, I don't remember who, was kind enough to allow me to run off of CDs because they were still in the studio, like
Right.
as a backup. So I actually would have like an hour live. I would run Rick D's weekly top 40. Rick
Ricky's in the
D's
weekly
weekly
top
top
40.
40.
These
These
sleeves.
sleeves, petroleum jelly. Woo!
You're amazing. You're great.
You're,
It's boys to
it's,
men.
ladies and gentlemen, it's Goo Goo Dolls and Iris on Rick D's weekly top 40.
Weekly top 40.
Mm, it's Natalie Imbruglia.
Imbruglia
No, I
and
remember.
torn.
I know it torn. Yeah, like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
But
No, you
anyway,
had to run those. You ran those off a CD.
yeah,
'Cause
it's
we
pretty
didn't we,
funny.
we didn't dub them into the computer.
Yes.
Right.
So, in other words, yeah, it was kind of a thing where I was still in the world that I was in prior to doing that. So it was nice. But I watched you yesterday and it was like, holy moly.
Why?
Stuff is well, just because stuff's, I mean, it's like
Easier? Harder?
it's running and like, no, I wouldn't say it's easier or harder. I would just say it's different.
It's
You know,
different.
yeah, it's just that stuff was, sequencing into one another and it was, kind of interesting. So
Next month, August, actually towards the end of the month, I'm going to celebrate 40 years
it's crazy.
in radio. So we'll have a
Yep.
special 40th anniversary. But, I was 19
Yep.
when I stepped into a radio studio for the first time. And I was queuing up records,
Right.
12-inch albums, putting them on turntables, putting the needle on the turntable, turning the record back, doing all
Yep.
of that. And then you played your commercials on these tape cartridges. They were called carts, short
Yeah,
for cartridge,
carts, audio carts. Yep.
short for carts. And I worked the overnight, midnight to 6 a.m. I'm not going to go too far into it. Now, this is now what I'm doing. Like today, when I just did my show, I haven't queued up a record or played a CD or a tape in over 20 years. It's
That's
been
crazy.
over
That's
20
really
years.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Because all the music is on computer. All of the commercials are on a computer. It's a computer program that executes files, and the files that the program executes the files in order, and the files it executes are audio files. That's
Right.
it. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah.
And you have a program director or a music director, whomever, that's working on another program that puts all the songs in order that they want them to be played. And you
Right.
have more popular ones that come up more often, and so on and so forth. And
Sure.
they send that over to the computer, and it goes and plucks these audio files and puts them in order, and then it just chugs along until you
It
tell it to do something else.
sequences them until you tell it to stop.
Right.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Essentially, that's what I was doing yesterday. Was I was going to a break. So a lot of the tactile really kind of fun, cool things that you used to do are gone. That's
Right.
now wasn't a fan of pulling the CDs and well,
Oh, did we both talked about this for a while.
did we? I
Well,
did.
yeah,
No,
about the nightmares we would
uh,
have.
oh, the
Like, we
nightmares.
still
Oh,
oh,
the work
oh
nightmares.
my
Yeah.
oh my god, like, to this day, I am d I so if Ron
Going
has
on the
stopped
air unprepared. You didn't have
right,
the
if he
music to play.
stopped
Yeah.
pulling music 20 years ago, literally, it's been probably 20 years since I've been on the air, other than podcasts, because, I mean, for the last 15 or so, I've been doing this sort of stuff. But the reality is, there are nights where I still wake up in a cold sweat, where I'm on the air, the song stops, the next one does not start. I start looking around trying to find music or a commercial or anything to play. I put it in, nothing works. That's not working.
I oh
I'm pulling, I'm
oh,
like
and
and
the
trying to
anxiety just
right,
rises in your
trying
chest.
to
You're like, ah.
yeah, and like Ron even said, he brought up something, and I thought it was the craziest thing that we both even thought this. Like, all I can find is music that isn't in our format, and,
And you can't play it. You
and you
can't play
can't play
music
it
that's not
because
in your format
that's
because
not
you'll get
in
fired.
right. I'm gonna get fired if I play like some Led Zeppelin or something like that. Like, we might have had a CD that had a few things on it, and you know, all the other songs don't work, but oh, this one's working, but it's completely out of format.
You know what brought that up? You know what brought that up actually yesterday when you were in the studio because I turned the monitors down. I turned listening to
Yeah,
what's going on the air. The speakers are called monitors. I turned the monitors down because you and I were talking. You know, I took a phone call or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And so I'm still talking to him, and the monitors were down. Now I'm looking at the meters, and I could see that the audio is playing.
But you couldn't hear it.
They're LED
Yeah,
lights that just go like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
And they used to be needles. They go like now they don't do that. But I had stopped in mid sentence and said, I can't stand silence when I'm in in a studio. I always
No,
think
it's
something's
weird,
wrong,
right?
and I had to turn it back up, even though I needed the studio monitors to be down. But anyway, yeah, the anxiety and here's another radio thing, John, and you
Yes,
probably do this.
yes,
You
yes.
probably do this
Okay.
when I'm driving
Yeah.
and we're in the car and the music's on, I'm not really paying attention to the music, and I'm just talking to greatest wife ever or whatever.
Mhm.
When the DJ starts talking, that's when and I turn it up. So
Oh,
I
I
can
I start
hear what the
critiquing.
announcer says.
Oh my god, that
I
is
was
so true.
listening to who was it, Magic Matt, this morning on the 77 on Sirius XM. They still have it on in my car. So if they're gonna keep it on in my car, I'm gonna keep listening. So
Yeah, you
whatever.
might as well.
Yeah,
Whatever.
might as
Yeah,
well. Whatever. It's free.
yeah, free.
Um, but watch it. They'll turn it off tomorrow.
Yeah, watch.
Sort of
Click,
like Elon Musk.
click.
Elon Musk call him, you're still listening to Sirius XM. You need to turn it off.
Sorry. That's it. Boo. Somebody's back in the across town over there right now, running
Right.
to the rack. Okay, deactivate Ross.
Ross? Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Sorry. Yeah, there he is. Good.
Quit.
Boop.
No, it was, but I do. That's what I do. I listen to the DJs.
Okay,
Always.
fair.
And then I listen to and again, inside baseball again, we call them spots. You call them commercials, we call them spots.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I listen to all the spots as well. And then I will I will try to emulate the spot sometimes. If it's a really good
Yeah.
announcer, I will try to talk like that announcer to try to get that delivery because it's hard. It's hard to get that delivery. I worked for a voiceover guy, and that's what he did for a living. And he used to be a radio DJ, and then he um, started his own business where he had a national agency, and he was the voice of these. He was on ESPN
ESPN.
was it Light FM in New York? Light FM,
Okay.
New York,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, that
Oh,
kind of thing.
I would
I'm
love to do
pretty exactly.
that.
Right.
Station imaging.
Right.
That's
Because
what
he's
I
just
would
doing
love to
I
do.
mean, I just know that he sat at a microphone and all day and just went, Light FM, Light FM, Light FM, Light
Al
FM,
Always
you
4
know.
great songs in a row. And no
Right.
talk.
Right.
Flight 100,
I would
WVUD.
love to do that.
I do too. No,
Especially the guy I think I know the guy who does all the Baltimore Orioles imaging, quote unquote imaging.
yeah.
So, it's the manager's corner or the Baltimore Orioles game day network. And you're like, oh, I want to do it.
I want
You're
that
listening
job.
to Ravens radio, the Baltimore Ravens. I'm like,
Pam,
oh
pam, pam,
man,
pam, pam,
I
pam.
want to do that. I want to do it so bad. That and be a PA announcer at a ball game.
Well, you could do that. Actually, the
No, I
guy who
can't.
was well,
I don't get off of
well,
work in time.
well, it all depends. Like, I remember when I was working overnights in Hagerstown, 106.9, and I would work through the mornings with the Manning in the morning show,
Uh-huh.
and we had the news guy. His name was John Price, I think. John worked also for the Hagerstown Suns organization,
Mm.
and he literally did their announcing as
Hmm.
well. Which so for minor league, I could see you doing like Frederick Keys or something
I
like
was
that.
contacted by the Frederick Keys many years ago
See?
to do the PA announcer, but I couldn't do it because I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was doing a morning show at the time.
Ah, okay.
And I couldn't
You'd be
be at the
good at
ball
that.
game till 11 o'clock. I know I would. You know what really bothers me? I had two girls that went
Yeah.
from preschool all the way through high school at the four schools in our area, the preschool, the elementary school, the
Hmm.
middle school, and high school.
Yeah.
And they were cheerleaders and they cheered at all the and also at our municipal, the MVAA games, and then in high school and cheered and basketball games and football games. And I went to all of them because my daughter was cheering. Not once.
Hmm.
And they all knew what I did for a living.
Yeah.
Not once ever did they ask me to be the PA announcer. And I'm like, really?
Oh,
Really?
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 Your Middletown Knights. Nothing? No, nothing. I could have killed it.
Well,
Killed it.
did you remember last night? I thought it was one of the funniest moments of us eating dinner last night, and it may have slipped by you, but it didn't slip by me.
Everything
When
slipped
the
by me, John.
what was the reason that Scandal came up? I don't even remember.
Because it was a show that
Okay,
Grace Ever and I are watching.
right, and okay, you were checking out that, and I didn't know what it was, and I started singing, shooting at the
Oh,
walls
that
of
was
heartache,
no, I got
bang
it.
bang.
I
Right.
heard.
Well, no, but that wasn't the part that was funny. Then the waitress came up and she goes,
Who's
"I
all of
am the
the
she's like
warrior?
20, and I'm
Yeah,
like, "How do you know that?" And she goes, "Well, my dad listens
my
to
dad.
Eagle 106.9 or whatever." And
Yeah,
Ron goes, "I'm on it." And she just walks away. Like Ron's like literally the nighttime guy on Eagle 106.9.
I was very excited. I'm like,
He
oh,
had,
that's what
he had
I
no
worked
idea.
there.
Just no idea. Yeah, he like was like, yeah, it was one of those moments where you think, because I had plenty of these in radio where you
Here's
think,
impressed, and here she was
yes,
over here,
it
way,
was it
way
was
over here.
exactly that moment. Like literally, I had so many of those moments when I was on Light 100 WVD, just doing middays. Like,
Ego check.
people, like you would think. I had a pretty big audience. Like I had largest 25, 54-year-old adult audience in Dayton, Ohio, at the time 46 market in the US. And and I would go out. Yeah. And there were so many times where I was ego checked, just like that. It was like, and I just laughed and I like it was such a subtle moment.
I caught that. No, I
Did
caught
you?
it,
Did you catch?
but I'm used to it.
I know, but like,
It's a
I
common
mean,
occurrence, John.
r-
Oh,
well,
I work at 106.9 The Eagle.
but do you ever get
Oh,
the?
okay, cool.
Yeah, do you ever get the? You sound like somebody that could be on the radio
Yes, I
because
get
I
that all the
still
time.
get
I
that.
get that all the time, and I
Right.
get it. What's really funny is I get it. I also MC. The greatest wife ever is the chair, and we just figured it out. This will be the
Yeah.
18th or 19th year that she's been the chair of the Middletown Heritage Festival, which is our street festival. Okay. And we
Right.
have a parade and your Middletown Marching Knights and the cheerleaders and craft displays, civic organizations. It's a blast.
Yep.
Close down Main Street, and everybody just floods the area. And then we have these bands and so on and so forth. I'm the PA announcer for the parade. Okay.
Well, that's cool.
And for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Welcome to Middletown Heritage Days 2024. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Don't forget to pick up your pamphlet to get your time of events, your event schedule. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And right. So I do all this, and more than once I've had somebody go, "Hey, you should be on the radio." I was like, "Well, funny you should say that.
Did you listen?
Funny you should say that." I'm on 106.9 The Eagle, and they go, "Oh, well, whatever." And they walk away.
Yeah. Yeah, just walk off.
And then they leave. No, it's
they do the Muppet walk off. You know like,
right,
so long. See ya.
Oh, look at that. Susan Heck says, we play against Frederick Keys. Salem
Yeah.
Red Sox.
Yeah.
Boo. We're the Frederick Keys. Get off your keister. Go Keys. And then you shake your keys.
Right, where's my keys? Yeah, they're not here. Yeah.
I hung mine
somewhere else. All right.
No,
yeah.
I'm teasing, Susan.
Sorry.
I am making fun of you. Sorry.
That's funny.
It's funny. That is highly. Yeah, the ego check on radio. And I think I've mentioned this before. Susan says back at you.
Way to go, Susan.
I think I've mentioned this before. And I don't know why it is, but in my line of business, and I've been a radio announcer, I've been a DJ at gosh, I don't know how many stations. 107X marks the rock. People seem really impressed with that. That was a great station.
Best name ever.
Z104 here in Frederick and Z104 in Washington, D.C. And Hot 99.5. Got a lot of recognition from that doing the morning show, the Hot Morning Mess with Mark and Chris. And
DC 101.
DC 101.
Rick O'Shea.
Rick O'Shea. I was under a different name. Yeah,
Rick?
Different name.
O'Shea. Rick
and
O'Shea.
And Kirk McEwen was the only one that got the fact that it was Ricochet. He's the only one who called me Ricochet. And I'm like, because that's where it came from.
Right.
Everybody else said Rick, the grease man. No. Called me Rick. Hey, good morning, Rick. Hey.
Not Ricochet.
Man. Nope, not Ricochet.
Oh, well.
Good morning. I got called. I worked St. Patrick's Day evening, and I had a bunch of drunken fools. Are you part of the O'Sheas from County Cork? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. That's me.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm from.
The point I'm trying to make is that, and poorly, shocker, is that when I tell people what I do, and they're, oh, what do you do? I'm a radio announcer. I say I'm a radio. I don't say I'm a DJ anymore.
Oh, that's good. I like that. I used to say air talent.
Yeah, I'm a radio announcer.
Air talent's a little pretentious.
Well,
I like radio.
I haven't jocked a disc in I don't know how long. So I'm not a disc jockey. And now DJ really brings up, the people who do those big stadium shows with the, like Dead Mouse and
really does it?
DJs like that. Oh yeah. DJ, when you hear DJ, when somebody says DJ, somebody else almost contractually has to say wiki, wiki, wiki. Like they're scratching a record. They have to. They have to.
Back in the day.
But when I say I'm a radio announcer.
Right.
Oh, where do you work? I do the afternoon show on Key 103.
Okay.
They have to tell you that they don't listen.
Right. I never got over that. Oh, that station, I hate that.
Yeah. No, they won't say they hate it. They're like, oh no, I don't listen to that. I listen to, it's almost like I love Harry Potter. Oh, I haven't seen a Harry Potter film. Okay, well, good for you. It's they have to tell you they don't listen. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. They feel it was like, oh, what do you do? You're a lawyer? Yeah, I don't use your law firm.
I don't know. It's just like when you worked at Sirius XM that I felt compelled to tell you about how bad the compression had become over the years.
Well, that wasn't. Yeah,
I know, but you had the same sort of reaction, like, okay, like just like, why are you telling me this? And after about a second, I thought, Yeah, why am I telling him
Why
that?
am I telling him that?
I don't know. I don't know, Margot.
I why is the carpet all wet, Tad?
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know, Margot.
Margot.
All right.
All right.
So it's you want to try to do this?
I
Oh,
don't
I
think
wanted to I wanted
I
to
I
mention
think
something
we're gonna
really quick. I
go
wanted
ahead.
to mention something
Yeah.
really quick.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is greatest wife ever and I on Saturdays we like to go out uh yard sailing.
Oh,
Yard
that's
sailing,
fun.
yeah, we get a lot of, you make sure you have a bunch of ones in your pocket, and then we start looking for signs. And I was
Ones in the
driving on
pocket.
Saturday, greatest wife
Really?
ever. It's like, if you're driving, you got to be ready to turn, hairpin turn, drop of a hat as soon as we see a yard sale sign. I'm like, okay, I got
So you
it.
just go out, you don't have a predestined
Sometimes
location
we
you
do.
go to?
Sometimes we do.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it.
And sometimes it's published on Facebook. It used to be in the paper, but now if it's on Facebook,
Okay,
and you already know what's going to be at it, and
got it.
you got to get there early. Sometimes they'll set up early on a Friday. That's when the serious pickers get over there and
Friday?
and get the good stuff.
Come on, man.
Yep.
Fridays.
But we were out yard sailing, and we went to this one house, and they were set up in their nice asphalt driveway, and it's the surface of the sun temperature hot as we're walking on
Fun.
this. And I saw the sign, and it was on a couple of the tables because it was horseshoe shaped, and they had tables in the center, so you could go up and around, and you could look on either side.
Yep.
And there was a couple of signs that they had put that said, none of these are marked with a price. We will make a reasonable in all caps offer. So basically yelling at me that it damn well better be, sorry, it darn well better be a
It's after
reasonable
dark. You're okay.
offer. Reasonable.
Yeah.
Shouting at me in all caps.
Right.
And it turned me, I immediately walked away.
Oh,
Do not yell at me. I'm
okay.
going to make a reason. Here's my offer. I'm not buying anything. There's my offer. I'm walking away because you yelled at me
Here's my
and
offer. You're a
your
jerk.
sign
Go
and,
away.
your sign and your
Okay.
all cap sign.
All
I
right.
did. I took it personally. I'm like, no, it's whatever.
Yeah,
All right.
here's my offer. You're lazy. You didn't put prices on things. Don't yell at me. I'm out. That's essentially what you were saying. I
That's
like
another
that.
one of the, I've seen that on Facebook too. And that is, they don't like getting their price checked, or their receipt checked when
Yeah.
they've rung themselves
Oh,
out
I hate that.
at Walmart.
I
It's
hate
like,
that.
well, you
Don't
checking
do
me
that
to
to
make
me.
sure that I did your job?
Yeah,
You don't get to check me.
you know what our Walmart did recently?
No. Did they take
Because
stuff out?
it's not working out.
Yeah.
They limited self checkout to 15 items now at all the lanes. My wife said she and a bunch of others tonight were absolutely off the hook upset. She was 30 minutes in a line. They had one lane open other than the under 15. And that's it.
Oh
And by the
my.
way, just so you all know, Hilton Head by volume square footage is one of the busiest Walmarts in the US. Okay? No joke.
Half hour in
Absolutely
line? She was half hour in line?
half out. She texted. My wife doesn't get upset at squat usually,
Right.
except
Yeah.
for like if somebody's cruel to animals or something like that, right?
Right.
But I get this text. They have all the express lanes under 50. You have to have under 15 items. And I've been here 30 minutes in line, and people are dot 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 dot
Yeah,
dot
yeah, yeah, yeah.
peeved. Yeah, peeved.
Wow.
Peeved.
Yeah.
That's the word. Yeah.
Not cool.
No, so
Not cool.
yeah, it's and I agree with, by the way, the people who are like, if I'm checking out my own stuff, either you trust me or you don't trust me. If you don't trust me, hire some people, check me out. I agree.
You
I'm
know,
sorry. Is that
my
an old guy thing? I don't know. Or
I
is
don't
that
know.
just
My
like
greatest wife ever, she hates self-checkout. She's like, I don't
yeah,
work here. I'm not doing your job.
I'm with
I
her.
don't mind going through if I've got like
Eh,
10
a
items
couple
or whatever.
items. Yeah. I get it.
Today I went through and I was all proud of myself because I was ready to weigh the raw broccoli. And so I go through and just search for broccoli, and I'm sitting on the scale, and I click the broccoli button, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you need help with this item, blah 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 blah. So I'm like, okay. So I moved on and scanned all my other stuff. The light didn't go on, so I'm looking at the guy, and I'm like, dude, I'm supposed to get help, and he goes, let me guess, broccoli. He goes, yeah. He goes, yeah. There's one button that doesn't work, and that's it. And that's the one that I picked. He goes, yeah. So,
Really?
he was a nice guy. There were two broccoli buttons. I picked the wrong one.
Oh.
There was one that works with a different item number than the other. But other than that, I'm like, beep.
So you screwed up the PLU, as they
I
called it,
did the
the price
Purdue.
lookup.
The thing I
Purdue.
don't like is with that is when where were one of them, it doesn't work very well at all, and it's like, please move the item to the bagging area. Please move the item. All right, help is needed. And I'm like, I'm yelling at the machine.
I know.
It's in the bagging area.
Okay, let me just say,
use your camera to look at me.
well, I've had that problem too. Walmart started using like a tracking camera.
Yeah.
And if you made like some crazy kind of suspicious movement or whatever, they flagged it. And somebody came over, like if it looked like you were trying to scan one item and push two over or something,
Right.
and I was kind of doing things with two hands, I was like scan, put in the bag, like doing this kind of thing. I was doing like the magician sort of thing. And before I knew it, it was like bloop, bloop, bloop. Like somebody had to come on. She's like, yeah, this new system is not working. And before I knew it, like again, it did it again. And then I was like, one item, bloop, one item,
right.
Bloop, doing that whole thing. So, by the way, and just for the record, Kroger has the absolute worst system in the country.
Are we airing our grievances now?
I am. This is the airing of the grievances. I yell more at that POS system than any other system anywhere. Like I'm doing the same thing you're doing. I just put it in the bag.
Right.
Why are you asking me to put it in the bag?
To the bagging area.
I just did.
Shanice.
Could I just? All right, we got to get out of here. So you need to ask your question quick if you're going to ask.
Am I doing a question? Are we really doing? Oh, hang on.
No, we don't have to.
Light? No, we have to ask one. What's going on with my light? Oh my god, I look horrible.
You're so bright.
I mean, I look horrible anyway, but whatever.
Well, join the crowd.
I'm turning this like as far down as it possibly can get. Whatever.
Really?
Anyway.
All right. Well,
okay. You ready?
In honor of Ron, I'm going to do the same.
All right. Time. I'm making this up on the fly, by the way. I didn't write it down.
Hold on.
Making up this question on the fly.
Hold on.
I got it. It's a good one.
Okay.
It's a good one. Oh, there you go, John. Nice. It's Ghost John. Oh, ooh,
spooky. Spooky.
All right.
Love that when you do that.
It's time to get the gray matter working. Fire all the synapses, gains the frontal lobe for new neural networks. Utilize the cerebrum as Pooh says. It's time to
think.
That's
think.
Right. Ding! It's the dun. Question of the day for pride, not prize. Making it up on the fly. We were just talking about radio. You ready?
Okay.
Give me what AM or FM means.
What was that?
What was what?
It's like you lost it somewhere in the middle.
Give me what AM or FM means.
Okay. Ready?
All right. Now I'll give you a super duper give it away clue.
Okay, great.
The M in both of them is modulation.
Okay, right.
Right?
I know the answer to this.
I know you know, John. I know.
I
know.
Wow. It's getting a little spicy here.
No, not at all.
No.
I know that you know. I would hope that you would know.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
And
ready? Okay. And
answer
put your
now.
answers in the comment section. And good luck.
Ah. Doo, doo,
Oh
doo,
no, we don't have the
doo,
music.
doo,
Okay.
doo,
All right.
doo.
I wish there was a
Well,
way I could play
I
it.
don't have
I don't have a
why have
chance to
we not
play it at
worked
the
out
time.
so that you can play sound effects by this
I
time?
don't know. What's
Doo,
with the
doo,
board? It's with this
doo, doo,
thing.
doo,
I don't know
doo,
why.
doo, doo, doo. No, you could do it. You have to have a second input device. Doo, 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 doo,
Ooh,
doo,
second input.
doo, doo, boom, boom.
All right, here it is. Question again. Question of the day. What does thanks,
So
John.
lame.
What does shocker.
I know.
It's us. It is we. We are I am he. What
Right.
do AM and FM stand for? And I'll give you a super duper give it away clue. The M stands for modulation.
Yes. Okay. We have answers.
All right. We've got
Ready? Here
answers.
we
Yes.
go. First answer is from Bud. Bing.
There it is. Amplitude
Yes.
modulation and frequency modulation. Nice.
Yay.
job. And that was the thing I liked the most about in the early days of XM before the merge, when it was
Yep.
XM satellite radio,
Yep.
because their slogan was Beyond AM, Beyond
Beyond
FM,
FM.
XM.
XM.
And XM is also a abbreviation for transmitter. So I thought that was cool as heck that they called the company XM. And at the time,
Yeah, before the whole Sirius XM thing.
well, Sirius was named after the dog star.
Yeah, I know that.
That's why there was a
That's
dog.
why there was
The
a
original
right,
logo was a dog.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Serious. An XM. And then it should have just been one name
They should have just
after the
chosen
merge. Yeah,
XM. Quite
just picked a
frankly,
name, but they had too many
XM.
XM radios that were out there. They should have just been Sirius. Period. That's it.
Really?
Yeah.
I had XM.
I had XM too, but Sirius had more.
Did
It
they?
was well, they had more money.
Oh, okay. Did they have more subscribers and everything?
No, not even close. They didn't even have
Okay.
half the subscribers that XM did.
But they had more money.
They had more money.
Okay, well,
So
you
it should have been Sirius.
makes
But I
sense.
loved XM at the time and the little XM radio.
I did too with the little actually I love the logo as well. So as a designer guy, I love it.
Beyond AM, Beyond
Yeah,
FM.
that was a great saying.
And XM had a jingle, a logo with
They had
doo-doo.
imaging?
Yeah, do 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 XM radio. It was, and they did it in 7,000 different ways. There was a rock version with guitars. You had just tones.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So you know how you know the tones from NBC? Bum,
Yeah, I
bum,
love
bum.
that. Yeah,
That was the
exactly.
logo for XM back in the day when they first launched.
Okay.
In, I want to say 2001, I think, is when they first launched. And I got to work there in 2007 when it was, so they were 6 years old. CBS News.
CBS News.
And they had that little.
Yeah, there was like mutual news. Actually, it's funny. I saw a video the other. I know we have to go, but I saw a video the other day of the guy that composed the theme. What was it for? BBC News, and he talked about.
Hold on. Point of
Why he
information.
did that?
Jim said, "Too bad your pride is only good for 4 more hours." But
sorry, bud.
Jim, no, easy.
Did you get a 24-hour?
It's for a week.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, I guess until the next time we do a show. Yeah,
until the
that's
next
true.
question of the day. Easy there, Jim throwing some shade at Bud.
Well, technically it's Wednesday, so it's only good till next Tuesday. So he gets a day less of pride.
That's too bad.
By the way, Jim, that's funny.
It does not expire at midnight.
I appreciate the humor, Jim.
No, I got it.
It's funny.
I thought it. Anyway, I interrupted your thought. What were you saying? Exactly. Very good. Nice.
Don't know.
Very nice.
I was talking about sounders and stuff and
mutual
news. I don't know. I really don't.
You don't remember?
No, it's good. We're good.
I like those network sounders at the top.
I do too. Like if you go back and you listen to all the ancient things, radio identifiers, imaging, I always, basically loved listening to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Still do. Jingles, loops.
I used to catch when I did
call letters.
I worked 7 to mid.
Yeah.
in Hagerstown, and I get off at midnight. And then I had some production I had to do afterwards, record commercials and or spots, and then I had to record reels for the automation system.
Yep.
And I so I'd get out there at like 1 or 2, and if it was like
Two.
two, I would catch the skip from the Loop AM 1000 WLUP Chicago
No, wait. Where did you catch that?
in Hagerstown, driving home.
Because
Hagerstown.
you were listening to like a Clear Channel radio station at that
No,
point,
I
or
was listening to AM 1000. I was catching the skip. It was going up, hitting, I don't know, stratosphere or something, and bouncing down
right?
in my area.
Because
And
it was
I was,
Clear Channel at that point, basically at night, where nobody else was on that
oh,
frequency.
it was a clear channel. Yes, correct.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Because a lot of stations powered down.
Right, like KDKA and
Yeah.
a couple of, there was,
Well, I was
okay.
also listening to
Nobody
WKBW.
knows what we're talking about
Yeah, they
right
do.
now.
WKBW in Buffalo, New York. I used to listen to them. But I would listen to the Loop AM 1000 because they were rerunning the morning show from earlier with Steve and Gary. And it was
Oh,
Steve Dahl and Gary Meyer.
oh, Steve Dahl,
Steve Dahl.
like
Steve Dahl.
legendary.
He was a legend in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
in radio. He was
So
one of the original shock jock
So
morning.
just yeah, so just for those who don't understand, because we grew up listening to AM radio, and we do have to leave soon here. But the point being, like you could listen to AM radio at night, and you could hear stations clear across the country
Yeah.
because of, like Ron said, the way the atmosphere worked at night, and the radio signals would bounce, and then other stations were only licensed to be on certain channels for certain amounts of time during the day, and at sundown they would have to go off the air.
Right.
So you could literally hear something, you could be in Maryland and hear stations from New York, Chicago, Pittsburgh.
50,000-watt flamethrower
Yes.
from Chicago. AM 1000 WLUP, the Loop AM 1000. Listen to Steve and Gary. And I would also, of course, listen to the Mutual Radio Network
Right.
for Larry King,
Larry King.
who was on all night. The man was on all night. He would do
Yes.
his CNN television show, and then he went back onto Mutual Radio
Yeah.
and did his talk show. And
Uh,
and Jim Bohannon would fill in for him occasionally.
Oh, Jim Bohannon. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or you would listen to Coast AM with George Norrie. Or actually, it was Art Bell.
Art
originally.
Bell was original. Yeah.
Yeah,
Art
man.
Bell. Listen to
Oh
that.
my gosh.
Yeah, that was freaky stuff.
Yeah, it was, but it was great. It was great radio. Like if you're driving overnight to like get to somewhere and it's after midnight, like that's the kind of stuff it would like keep your brain engaged so you wouldn't fall asleep. Like, oh, there's like aliens maybe, or there's shapeshifters, or the shadow people,
I
or whatever.
love listening to that
Oh
stuff.
God, it was so good.
And then he would have to shift out of the whatever content he was doing in his show into a live read for a commercial for Ben Gay. You know, when I'm craning my neck to look up at the stars, I got a crick in my head. I got to put Ben Gay.
Oh my God,
I
miss that stuff. That's
loved AM radio in
so
the
good.
middle of the night. It's so good. It's still there. You can still listen to all
Jim
kinds of
Bohannon. Who was Bruce Williams was another one too. I mean, all these like guys that just lived in that kind of zone from 8 p.m. all the way through 6 a.m.
Right.
There were legendary voices that you would listen to going to sleep, or talk radio and things like that, or you're keeping the third shift workers up. Oh man, just so
that
good.
was amazing stuff. It was fun.
Really was.
I love. How in the world did we go down that path?
I don't know.
I don't remember. All
Doesn't matter.
right, look, we've gone way over.
We're 15 minutes past. Yeah.
That's because one of us has been drinking. It was me. It was me. It was me. Before it was alcohol.
Water.
That's right. I outed you. You.
All right.
That's fine.
I had an adult beverage after work, so sue me. Go ahead.
Beverages.
Beverages.
I'm just messing with you, John.
I know.
It was really great to see you yesterday. It was awesome. When are you flying back?
Friday.
Friday. You're here for another day?
No, that's what I do.
Do you still have your rental car?
I do,
You
which
should
is
you should come up for a live at 5 tomorrow, Carroll Creek Amphitheater, downtown Frederick.
oh Lord, really? Okay.
Yeah. They're kicking out the jazz jams. It's supposed to be partly or mostly sunny and a high 88.
I will consider it.
All right.
We'll see how things go tomorrow.
Oh, I won't be there. I'll be on the air. But still, you should come up.
Oh, well then I'm not going.
I'm
Why would I go?
I'm messing with you, John.
I already got crap from the folks at the hotel I normally stay at. I went by to see them tonight. The folks that I've grown to know and love, my second family.
Why don't you stay there? Why aren't you staying there?
Long story short,
Oh, okay.
6,000 points from American Airlines to stay here tonight.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
right.
and I saved my company some money too. So that
Cash
was it's like win-win. And I'm on my way to what is it? Executive platinum status.
You can
American boarding group 1, baby. You ever seen Up in the Air?
No, yes, I have.
Okay. Well, then you get it.
I have watched Up in the Air, but it's really hard. Recently, I saw it was on, and the people getting fired scene really was rough, especially on a freaking computer, which is what happened to me.
No,
and to watch that happen, and then the interviews at the end of the movie. If you don't know, Up in the Air is about George Clooney. He flies from town to town and he fires people. The company brings him in to come in and let people go, and he gives them their severance package, and then he talks to them, and he's got this whole shebang.
Yeah, and it's personal, at least to the point where he tells them about what they can do for their future and things like that. And then the company decides, we're just going to do it on the computer.
Right. So they bring in Anna Kendrick, who's going to teach him, and they're going to pull him off the air. Well, he's supposed to take her with him and teach her how he does things.
Right.
And she's come up with this brilliant idea to just let people go on a computer conference call.
Yeah, good enough.
And right. So then there's a subplot and a subplot to a subplot. But basically, George Clooney's in the air all the time, and he's about to hit the 1,000,000-mile mark. Right.
Well, I think it was even.
And I think after that, he gets to fly for free for the rest of his life or something.
Well, no, it was even beyond that, because a lot of people hit the 1,000,000-mile mark, but he was like going to be in the top, like only 20 people or so many people ever had reached.
He's flown more than some pilots have. Yeah, exactly. And
like more than people that went to the moon or whatever.
In the scenes where people are being fired on computers, that's what happened to me. I was fired via computer because I was working from home.
That I did not know. I didn't know that.
Wow.
Which is weird. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, it was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I got an email that said, hey, I got an email. There was an email that went out that said that emails are going to be going out a little bit later on about employment here. There were reduction in.
And they contacted you via the computer.
Yeah.
Do you remember in?
I got an email that said, "Hey, we wish to talk to you about your employment with SiriusXM." And I'm like, and I called my boss. I mean, you could hear me down the block.
Okay.
F word. And,
I know, because you knew at that point, right?
Well, so yeah, that's what they weren't going to say. Hey, you get to stay here, but anyway. So relating back to the movie, I'm not going to go through that whole thing again. And it was fine. It was humane. There was somebody from HR and the guy and whatever.
You know what?
And it was
you're doing well, Ron.
I'm great now.
I was loving to see you.
Dude, I was just thinking about that today as I got out of my car and I came home.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, how things have changed in a little over a year and a half.
Yeah.
Almost a year and a half. Completely different.
You're really doing well. You're in your element.
Oh my gosh.
You like what you do. You're in your hometown. People know you. People love you. Look, dude, it's like, it seemed like crap at the time, but quite frankly, and it was crap at the time. But you know what? You bounce back, and you bounce back strong.
Well, and I talked to one guy, and he said, it happened to a lot of great. You're not the only dude. It was an 8% reduction in force. And it's personal to you because it happened to you, but there were a lot of people that lost their jobs. So anyway, relating back to the movie, is and that the people that they interviewed that were in interview situations at the end of the movie were actually
Yeah.
real people who had
Yeah.
been who
Yeah.
had lost their jobs and so on.
Yeah.
So if I were to do anything after radio,
Hmm.
I would want to do one of two things. I would want to go cook at a homeless shelter because that's what I do. I'm a cook.
Right.
I'm a really good cook. Cook in a homeless shelter or a church group or something like that, and set up a re-employment center. Maybe work for the government or whatever to get people to get jobs. Those are like the two things that I would love to do after I do this, if I could, just to occupy my time, and I'd do it for free. I'd volunteer.
I
Yep,
think actually after
absolutely.
retirement, that's what I'll be looking for is some way to just give back
You got to do something.
to
Yeah,
doing something.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Doing something, like my wife volunteers for a feral cat community right down the road. So, I mean,
Oh,
there,
the kitties. Oh, that's awesome. And you don't
no,
have
but
7,000 of them running around your house?
we have two downstairs
You
right
have
now.
two.
Yogi and Boo Boo on top of the two that we have, and one of them is one of the feral ones that we ended up adopting. So we have two cats of
Oh,
our own plus a dog,
a
and
foster
then
failure.
two. It's a whole story. We'll tell that some other time. And then we have two that are as part of the feral cat community that we're doing rehab on right now.
Okay.
So
Are any of the feral cats named Will?
funny. Like
It
that.
was. It was
I like
very
that. I
funny.
really did like
That's why
that joke.
that's
That was good.
why I'm in radio.
No, it was really good.
You're killing me, John. All right,
By the
look.
way, this shirt totally doesn't go with my cat message, right? Drink coffee, pet dogs, but whatever. It's all
All
good.
right, there you go. That's
Pet
the
an
Maryland
animal.
flag, baby. We love the Maryland flag. Look at that.
Yep.
It's a little busy. You can't really read key 103, but I
I
don't
think
care.
I think
Maryland
Joanne's
flag.
has a good suggestion. We should do this as a different podcast topic. What to do after retirement?
That's a
I'm
great
in,
idea.
Joanne.
All right, Joanna.
Like we'll add that.
Oh! I forgot. For
We gotta
people who stuck around.
we gotta
For-
go. By the way,
I
but go
know, but
ahead.
hang on. But for people
I
who
mean,
stuck
not that I'm
around,
going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm kind of stuck here.
For
But go
people
ahead.
that have stuck around, I've got big, fat, hairy news about
What?
the podcast.
Wait, what? Oh, yes, I did.
Should I say
Wow,
it? Should I say it
finally,
now?
it's about
Should I
time.
should I say it
Yes,
now?
yeah, you should.
Yes, I should.
Anybody who stuck around this long deserves to
You
know,
think
right?
so? All
Yeah.
right. Let me find the date. What was that? August 13th? Tuesday, August 13th.
Was it?
It'll
Okay,
be
I hope
8
so.
p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. Our guest will be Grammy nominee and number one hitmaker Lisa Loeb is going to be on our
Nice.
show, and
And she
personal friend of mine.
she might just stay
I
a little while.
Yeah, right. No, actually, she's got new music out, so we're going to be she's promoting her new album.
Will
So
she
I
play
thought
anything?
I'm doubt it, but
I mean,
I'll ask.
I wouldn't,
I'll
I don't
ask. I'll ask. I can't hurt the
I
worst.
don't expect it to happen, but I would love to
So I'm
hear
talking to her
something.
manager, and she says,
Yeah, okay.
"So this is just audio only." I went, no, it's on camera. She goes, "Oh,
Oh,
okay." I
sorry.
said, "Yes."
Well,
She would have to be camera ready. Not that I'm camera ready.
yeah, like what?
I know
What?
that she would
What?
be.
I mean, what?
She would want to
I
be
mean,
camera
seriously?
ready.
No.
No.
Is
No, she's
she
got a great.
right?
She has a
No.
she has a great home studio,
Okay.
and where she does a lot of her voice work because she's still on 90s on 9. She has her own show. She's got a
Yeah.
podcast called Where They Are Now,
She's just
and
cute
yeah,
as a button, too.
yeah, great
She
artist.
really is. Yeah.
But she does like 8 billion other things, and she's acting. She was just in the new season of that 90s show, which is on Netflix.
Can I just say, and I hope I don't ruin anything here by saying this, but I mean,
Okay.
she and Jennifer Aniston, how do they like stay the same? They she looks amazing. Like literally, I've
Look.
seen her recently, and it's like Lisa Loeb has not aged. How does that happen? I want the secret. I want the juice.
Well, she's very serious about her fitness
She
because
must be.
she
Yeah.
does yoga, she does
That I've
dancing,
heard that. I've
and
heard.
I don't know, is she a vegan? I don't know if she's vegan, she's vegetarian,
I'm just
but
amazed.
she just watches what she eats and she exercises every day and she just takes
I
care of
mean,
herself.
that is a serious compliment.
Yeah,
Seriously, that she barely looks like she's aged a day since I
she's
saw her in the video for her hit song
and
back
she wears
then.
the same glasses. She has her own eyewear, by the way,
Well, I actually did read up on the whole
which
the
we'll be oh,
eyeglass
did you
thing.
really? Which
Yeah,
we'll be
yeah.
talking about when she's a guest on her show.
She has her own
So,
eyewear?
yeah, she has a whole, line of eyewear,
Oh, that's
absolutely.
cool. That's
Yeah, it's
cool.
very cool.
That is really cool. I'm very excited, Ron.
So our guest on the, Ron Ross Radio Show podcast, and then
Ron's gonna have to rein me back in, like,
I
because
tried to book
I'm a
her
little bit of a
for
fanboy.
I tried to book her for Ronversations too,
Okay.
but her manager said, "Let's just do this first."
First and see how it goes.
Yeah, see how it goes.
Yeah.
No,
I
it'll be
mean,
great.
Lisa is a year younger than me, apparently, according to Jim. I don't know that for a fact, but that's amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, amazing.
Well, you
She
look fantastic, John. You run and you got,
ugh,
I hugged him yesterday when I saw him, and it was like hugging granite. It was like solid. He's solid.
stop.
He's
Stop.
solid.
You're silly.
I was the Pillsbury
You're
Doughboy, but gee,
you're
John,
just
I'm
silly.
telling you.
Uh-uh.
All right, look,
Nope.
it's holy
It's
moly.
time to
We
go.
did an
And
hour and a half.
this is the longest podcast we've ever done.
Yeah, it is.
We
And
set a new record tonight.
let me just
Thanks for
apologize in
sticking around.
advance if you're listening.
Yeah.
I made you stick around for the news. All right,
Yeah.
so Lisa Loeb's going to be our guest on Tuesday, August 13th at 8 p.m. live
Wow.
Pacific, 5
Okay.
p.m.
Specific?
I'm sorry, 8 p.m. East, 5 p.m. Pacific, here on the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast. All right, we got to go. We got to go, mainly because my glass is empty. I need another Jameson's. And then on to on to the evening. I think we're watching Scandal some more. We're moving on to season 3.
Shooting at the
All right, listen, no, wrong one, wrong Scandal. All right, for that dude over there, John Yaglinski, I'm
Bang,
Ron Ross.
bang.
Listen, please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be safe. Bicycle.
Bye now.